Hi everybody, welcome to the Dahlia Society. My name's Kristen and this is Friday Sews. I'm so glad to see you join me again for Friday Sews. You can go ahead and look at all the Friday Sews participants. So far, I'm pretty sure there's, apart from Jen from Jen Sews, who started the Friday Sews hashtag, there's also Stephanie from California and her channel is Stephanie Farrell Focus. There's also Sharon Sews from US as well and Hales Moore Sewing from the UK. So it's fantastic to see that a lot of people have got on board with the whole Friday Sews hashtag, where it's just a great way to catch up and seeing what everyone's been up to for the week. You may notice I'm out in my back garden. I have got some beautiful big dahlias to show you. This is one of my biggest dahlias so far. It is huge. I don't know the name of it. I'm sorry. I'm one of those people that thinks, I'll remember that, the colour of the name, and they really don't stick. I can never remember them. I should write them down. But you can see the size of this one. It's not even fully open. It is massive. It is huge. It's a cacti variety, and the other ones here blooming are the same variety. It's almost black. It's so dark burgundy, the purple hue in it, but it's one of my favourite dahlias, and they're all opening up in our beautiful sunshine here. I've got quite a few bits more growing, some more pom-pom. Oh, actually, I'll give you a bit of a look at a tour around my dahlia patch, and I'll talk about the varieties that I've got. Thought I'd bring you out and show you how things are going here. The tomatoes have had a lot of rain, so they're looking fantastic. Some lovely big ones coming up there. But the dahlias are just erupting everywhere. If you can see over here, these are all the new ones out this week. Looking really nice after all the rain we've had. This one in particular I love, the pom-pom kind of feel to it. It's really perfectly round, if you can see it grows like that, but the amazing petals, I just think they're fascinating to look at. Another pom-pom, so you can see here they're just really round. Got some passion fruit growing, some new vines here. They will take probably a good 12 months to fruit up, but last time we had them they basically covered this whole fence. And the plant only lasts for about 2 to 3 years before you need to replace it. But it is a great spot to grow them on here. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I showed you the herb garden. I said it would be just about full by now. So as you can see, everything's really flourishing. Got some really nice looking healthy basil there. I love making pesto out of that when it all gets out of control and grows really well. I decided to mash it up with some parmesan and pine nuts, and it's really lovely on pasta. Lilies are all blooming now. The Christmas lilies are a little bit late this year, but looking lovely. So I always like to give you guys a bit of an update, and I have got a garden episode if you are interested in looking at my garden back in springtime. I'll link that episode so you can go back and watch that if that interests you. So what's been on my sewing table this week, what I've got on actually, this is a beautiful Sagebrush top from Friday Pattern Company, and it's been one of those patterns I've had in the stash for quite a few months and had the fabric ready there. And it was just a matter of timing, and I really am thrilled with the way it's turned out. I love the drapey Lady McElroy, I think it's called Arctic Wolf fabric. It's a viscose blend. It's absolutely beautiful. The print in it was the first thing that appealed to me. I love the sort of vintage looking Arctic Wolf print with a little bit of an autumnal colour there. But I really love the style of this top. I wasn't sure whether it would suit me because I'm not really one for lots of frills and gathers, and I think but I really am quite happy with how it's turned out. It's actually beautiful to wear. I think the thing that I love most about this with the fabric is that drape. I think that with this blouse it works best. The more drapey the fabric, you'll get that beautiful flowy kind of look to it, and I have seen a lot of people do them in more like cotton lawns and stiffer cottons, and it does give that bit more of an exaggerated sleeve and frill, but I love that more kind of demure looking puff, so not the big sticky up ones we used to wear, because of course I'm one of those people that got married in the very early 90s and we had huge puff sleeves, and I didn't ever think they were going to come back in fashion. I don't think they will for bridal, but they seem to be catching on. The statement sleeves are not going away in a hurry, and it seems to be really popular. Any kind of pattern with a statement sleeve, people are loving it. So I am definitely one of those people, and I'm slowly getting into more statement sleeve things, but I really am happy with this. I'll show you some footage and some pics of this on. Now this fabric was from My Design. It's one of my favourite fabric stores here in Victoria, and absolutely love the way the fabrics come up. So very soft draping. It was a little bit more work involved in what I thought. Just from looking at the top, it seems quite simple, but there are quite a few steps there. But it's the sort of thing you can quite easily manage to get through in an evening of sewing. And yeah, definitely another top I want to make a few more of to add to my collection too. Another pattern I've whizzed up this week is one of those ones I've had in my stash for quite a while as well, and I'd seen a lot of hype about this on the Pattern Emporium Circle on Facebook. Now if you're a Pattern Emporium fan and you haven't joined the Pattern Emporium Circle, definitely go ahead and join their Facebook group, because you'll get to see a lot of people make their patterns up, and they talk about what they've loved about them and what they do next time. Some people are such huge fanatics, they actually love posting pics. This starstruck top was one of the ones I'd seen quite a few times on there, and I absolutely love the beautiful drape with the tie on the side. Now this is done with a Liberty jersey that was purchased from the fabric store online. They have a lot of beautiful Liberty fabrics there. You can see the way that the pattern's cut out with the whole piece. The tie at the front is all kind of one piece, and you've got one seam down the back. So a really easy pattern with that one seam, and you've got the sleeves there to sew on and the binding on the neck, but really simple. It looks involved with that bit at the front, but believe me, it's not. It's really simple with having that one piece, and yeah, it makes a really nice drapey style top. I can imagine this in a sleeveless. And also the pattern itself does have the option of having a beautiful bishop style sleeve. So if you're in a cooler climate and that kind of thing appeals to you at the moment, the bishop sleeve looks absolutely stunning. I really think this will look great in bold plain colours, as well as having a bit of pattern there. So you can really play around with that. So I'll link the pattern below, and I'll also link the Friday Pattern Company Sagebrush blouse, so you can have a bit of a look and go on their websites and see what you think. But personal favourites of mine, definitely very happy with the two things that I've sewn so far this week. And we're in the process of packing to go away for a few nights, just down to Cowes, Phillip Island, which is our local beach area. And usually it's quite busy down there this time of year, but we're hoping the weather's going to be really warm. We're going to be able to have a little bit of a swim and walk on the pier, have an ice cream, all that kind of thing, a bit of sightseeing and a bit of shopping. So really looking forward to having a bit of a mini getaway before the kids all resume school, which is another week and a half away. So some more things that's kept me busy this week. I've actually been busy sorting out my stash. And here we have the finished product of my tidy up of my fabric stash, and that is all of my stash there. I've got one bag of offcuts that I'm going to keep, and it's quite a large bag, but I've decided to keep all my scraps of jersey in there if I want to make some underwear in the future. The box is down the bottom. That's got a lot of heavyweight coating fabric and some other remnants, and the rest of it is organised by weight. So we've got merino jerseys and some double gauze jersey there. We've got some bamboo jerseys and organic cotton jersey and some t-shirting fabric, and the rest of it I've kind of done in colour order. Just find I can find things a bit easier if they are in kind of a colour order rather than just composition and fabric weights and that kind of thing. I like to have my knits separate, of course, but you'll see here we've got a few some linen blends, some crepes and some viscose, some Lady McElroy lawns that I have, my pride and place, my favourite fabrics there. We've got some linen blends in some bold basic colours, and these are a few crepes and lawns as well, and a gorgeous linen cotton blend from Nerida Hanson there. The viscose is from Fabric Hunt in the rust colour print. And then we've got some gorgeous iCat linen there from A&R Fabrics. I'm planning on making a dress in that very shortly. Some more lawn and some bold coloured linen cotton blends. Some Brodro and Glay from A&R Fabrics too. and a voile that seems to blend in nicely as well. So I'm pretty happy with how it's come up. I don't like to have a really big, huge stash because I find it gets too overwhelming. And I find that if I keep it kind of to a minimum and use what I have before I buy too much more every season, then I can kind of find things easier and keep on top of it that way. You can see my PDF or A0 plans, patterns there are not organised that well, so I don't really know what to do with them. I haven't got enough storage to do much else with those. But this is kind of the front of my lounge room. You can see the other side here is the sewing area. I have to now reorganise all of my paper patterns, and all the PDFs are in a huge mess in here. There really isn't a great deal of storage to know what to do with these, but I really need to organise them into sections as far as pants and tops and that kind of thing. But that is a huge job ready for me tomorrow. Stash probably isn't as big as what a lot of you may think. I tend to try and get through a lot of my stash before each season just so I can feel less pressure and stress. I think it can get a bit overwhelming for me if I have too much fabric there. And I'm also very changeable. I like to be able to change my mind with certain things. If I have too many plans in action, I find that it can drain me a little bit with the whole creativity side of things. So I like to be able to just sort of go with the flow and sew what I feel without having too many definite concrete plans. Mind you, I do have things jotted down in my little jotter book, things that I want to make, but I don't put too much pressure on myself to have these certain things sewn up at a certain time. But I'm not sure how you guys find that works for you, but that is personally for me how I feel, what works for me. The dreaded pattern stash, well, that is just another huge dilemma. I have got so many PDFs that I've sorted through. I need a bigger storage system there because it's fast outgrowing the one I've got. And I've got a few A0 patterns rolled up and ready to be made up as well. But I find that, that can get very overwhelming. And a lot of things I may have in the stash there, I find that I've sorted through, and certain things that weren't appealing to me anymore. My tastes over the years have changed. If you're like me when you first started sewing, that you may have been into the whole vintage side of sewing, like pretty dresses and that kind of thing. And I find that they're just not what I'm wearing in my wardrobe. I like a bit more practical side of things to sew now these days. So yeah, it's actually really great to go through and kind of condense down the pattern stash. But the fabrics, I'm much happy with the way they've come up a lot nice and neater now too. And I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who suggested some fantastic authors and books that are all keeping you guys really busy there reading. I have got so many options now to choose from. I've been just overwhelmed with suggestions also for Netflix series as well. And I find that really helps me because I'm one of those people that will get on and just scroll through and really find it hard to make my mind up what to read or watch first. So I love to hear a bit of a review on what you've enjoyed as well. And if you're like me, you just finished Bridgerton, how much I love that series. Absolutely fantastic. Really had me glued to the screen. I had it all watched in about 3 days. So on to the next series. I think The Queen's Gambit might be the next one I'm going to watch. So really looking forward to that. I'm going to have an episode out in the next couple of weeks on top tips that work for me to get my sewing mojo happening, things that have helped me, little just bits of information and maybe some hints and tips. So I'm really looking forward to bringing you guys that. I've got some fabrics to show you that have just come in the mail in the last few days as well. So a few more bits coming that I've got a few little plans or maybe mental plans there just ready to make some things up that I've been wanting to for quite a while now. But just very slowly heading into some new seasons of fabrics as well. So a brief little catch up today. I hope you enjoyed that, and I really suggest you go head over to all the other Friday Sews hashtag YouTubers and catch up on what they've been working on as well, because I find that really helps sometimes motivate me. And I think it's just interesting to see what you're all up to. And I've got to say a huge thanks for all the comments every week. I love when all the comments come in because it really helps keep me inspired. So keep happy and keep safe and keep sewing. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye for now. you.